Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds. And here today I have one of these diamonds in the rough. His name is Destin Talbert. He's a corner out of North Dakota State. Nice to have you, sir.
Appreciate you having me.
So personally feel like you're one of these big sleepers in this upcoming draft. Very effective corner, a guy who I know has a solid athletic ability, can work well in press coverage. But dude, before we get talking about anything else, give me a little bit of your background, if you don't mind. Tell me where you're from and how you got there to NDSU.
Well, I'm originally from Lexington, Kentucky, so that's where I was born. But then I lived there for 10 years and then moved to the Chicago area, Chicago suburbs of Darien. So I was there for another, 8 years. And then after, going through the recruiting process through high school, found my way up here through a bunch of talks with my mom and different visits. Decided North Dakota State was the best place for me to learn football, grow as a man away from home, and get to where I am now. So excited to be in the position I'm in.
Nice. So coming out of high school, I mean, obviously North Dakota State, a wonderful program, but I mean, I do just kind of want to fish a little bit. Did you have any other offers besides NDSU or what?
I did. I had some type of double-digit number, like 16, 17 offers. So I had other offers.
Interesting. So obviously you decided to go with North Dakota State, which obviously is synonymous with winning championships. So I want to get your feel for that before we move forward, because I think a lot of people, like they think about North Dakota State and that's all they think about. They think about all them championships. What does it mean to you to be a part of a program like that?
Man, that's exciting. I mean, that's what you want to be, a part of a winning program. I'm glad to have won 3 championships while I've been here. I mean, it means everything to me to be a national champion. I mean, that's what I came here for, to win games, and they put me in positions to be able to do that a lot of times. So I've had a great time being a part of it.
Awesome. I kind of wanted to talk to you about that, because I think a lot of people either they have this love-hate relationship with NDSU. It's like, get the hell out of FCS and move up and play with the big boys, because we know that you can. But it's all right. I think a lot of people just really enjoy winning those championships. That's the reason why they're there. But let's take a step back, man. I want you to kind of fill in some of your resume there as an athlete. So, I mean, as a kid in high school, I do have on my list that you played a little bit of basketball as well. Did you participate in any other sports during your high school days?
I did not. It was only basketball and football through high school, and only played basketball 3 years. So my senior year, I only played football.
Right. But I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people, maybe that's like your first sport, and eventually once mom's okay with you taking some hits, then you're out there on the, football field. How was that kind of growing up, and making that transition and ultimately deciding on pursuing the game of football?
It was became a tough decision because, like you said, how long-standing both sports were for me. I mean, I grew up playing both. It was never really much of like leaning one way or the other. I mean, they would switch off during whichever season we were in. I tried different sports, of course, as many kids do. I mean, with baseball and soccer and a bunch of different things. But of course, basketball and football were always my top two. And throughout high school, I mean, my body just started developing, and I just started to notice my skill set, and what my time was dedicated to most was football. So even though I still love basketball, I was still putting more time and effort and practice into the skills I was learning in football. So it wasn't as much about taking hits. I mean, as a matter of fact, I was trying not to take any hits in high school. I was a receiver. I was trying to move out the way. But yeah.
Well, that's what your job is anyways. So
yeah, exactly.
But obviously you decided to stay with the game of football. So there's got to be something about this game that you really enjoy. So tell me why you love this game.
I think I'm just really addicted, dedicated to the feeling of just greatness, really. I mean, in high school, making a touchdown, like I said, being a receiver, making a touchdown, making any given play, and hearing the crowd yell, I think you get almost intoxicated by that feeling. It just feels so good to make plays, to make your team happy, to win, to make the crowd happy. I just live for that. And throughout college, I stayed the same. Every time I make a play, or even before making a play, running out through the tunnel at the Fargo Dome and hearing all of North Dakota State's fans yell for you, just a great feeling. And you get excited for it week after week, no matter what situation you're in.
Nice, and certainly get a great fan base out there who's very committed to that program. Why don't you talk to me real quick about you at NDSU as a student? I'm assuming that you've already graduated, so tell me what you finished up there with.
So I graduated with my bachelor's in finance. Actually, on the same day as we played James Madison in the semifinal last year, I graduated that morning. So now since then, I've been in the MBA program, so getting my master's in business. I'm in my third semester of that, so I'll be done with that pretty soon too.
Interesting. So, hypothetically, if there was no football or maybe like 10, 15 years down the line, what do you see yourself doing?
I mean, if there were no football 10, 15 years down the line, I see myself using that, exactly that, staying in my field, becoming a financial analyst, or really working in the finance sector of any sort, being an accountant, accounts payable specialist, something that works along with my degree.
Nice. Well, I mean, at the very least, you'll hopefully know how to manage your finances as a pro. So that'll be nice to at the very least have that sort of understanding. But hey, man, it's great to be able to say, hey, I got that piece of paper, and hopefully be able to use it at some point down the line. Destin, let's talk some football, man. Like we said, NDSU, excellent program. Why don't you go ahead and talk about y'all's defense and where you fit in?
I mean, our defense is pretty variable. We adapt to different situations, different teams, and use a bunch of different game plans. No real set scheme that we always use the same. So, I mean, I'd say our base is a cover 4, cover 2 scheme, but I mean, it goes into a bunch of different things. Run cover 3, we run man. Like you said, I can press, I play off, man blitzes, cover 1, 0. I mean, we're really all over the place. And I feel like I've molded well into a player that can fit into all those schemes. I mean, I'm excited to play zone and have my eyes on the quarterback and be able to make a play. And again, like you said, I'm excited to press somebody and really get into a physical matchup. So I feel like I fit pretty well. And I'm glad they've taught me as much as they have to be in that defense.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, a lot of great athletes on that defense, really all over the place up front, going all the way to the secondary. And you yourself being a captain amongst those group of guys. Talk to me about what it means for you to be a leader there for your program, and maybe if you want to share at least your own personal like leadership skills.
Definitely. I mean, becoming a captain, taking over that leadership role this past year, that my 5th year after 4 years of playing under different guys and experiencing their leadership skills. I mean, it was almost an emotional day for me when I was told that I had been voted that by my teammates, and I really took that ownership to do the best I could for the rest of the year. I was excited about that. As far as my leadership skills, I mean, I feel like definitely within the past year or two, I've grown as a vocal leader, taking my pockets and really speaking up where I need to about situations, about players, keeping us motivated. But more than anything, instinctually, I think I lead by example more than not. I think that's what got me into this leadership role this year, to be a captain. People seeing my consistency throughout my career of being where I need to be, being on time, keeping my head down, and continuing to work and get to the respect level that I got. So that's what I think.
Nice. Obviously being in the position of leadership, I mean, you're really, I don't know if if you got people under you or if you're just kind of looking out for everybody more or less there at NDSU, but kind of want to pick your brain a little bit. I know NDSU is going to be in the mix every single year there. So why don't you tell me who's going to be remaining there for that program for the next seasons that maybe not a lot of people know yet?
that not a lot of people know. I
Yeah,
mean,
just tell me some guys that are coming up in the program real quick.
definitely. So there's always our quarterback, Cam Miller, who's already been starting for us for a couple of years. I mean, I think he'll only continue to grow. He still has plenty of time to keep getting better and keep showing his talents. On that offensive side, somebody that I think could be a captain this year, who, regardless of being a captain or not, was a leader for us this past year and will continue to be a leader this year. On the line is Jake Kubis. I think he's going to continue to be huge for us. And again, somebody who's outspoken and really characterizes what it means to be a leader on our team. And somebody else that I would say, or I'll say two more people on offense. Tamarick at running back, who's already been a great player for us. He transferred in last year, 2 years ago, and he's only been great since, and he's going to continue to be, as well as Zach Mathis at receiver, who had a huge year this past year, staying healthy and really making a bunch of huge plays for us. Defensively, I mean, a lot of guys have moved around, and it's crazy. Like, the guys I played with are not going to be there, and that's hard for me to imagine when I'm speaking on guys like Michael Tutsy and Dawson Weber. I mean, it's crazy that they're not going to be there, but I think guys are going to take over that role, specifically like that linebacker room of Nick Kubis, Luke Wirtz, Jaden Price at corner. Those guys are going to really have to step up and have huge years for us.
Yeah, but we know because you guys have always put together a very solid season, always in the mix for a national title. We know that somehow the coaches are going to put those players in position to succeed. So, Destin, I know you've been a part of a lot of great seasons, a lot of great championships. So why don't you share some of your own personal best memories or moments, whether it be a game or even a specific play that you've been a part of. So give me some of that.
Well, it's very tough. It's very tough not to say my favorite play was against James Madison, that semifinal. Like I touched on earlier, same day I graduated, I get to go out there and play against what was a great team in the semifinal and make a play that really changed my life. Really had my phone blowing up that night, and I couldn't have imagined anything like that happening. Jumping up, catching a one-hand interception, and I think that was definitely my favorite moment. I mean, I'm very biased. It's hard not to say that, but that's my favorite moment. But besides that, I mean, every time I won a championship, obviously all 3 times were great, and I'll never forget those times being in Frisco, having the NDSU fans on the field cheering for us afterwards. Those were always great moments, and I'd say last senior night was a great night for me this last year. It really hearing all the accomplishments that me and my teammates that were also leaving had done while we were there was pretty incredible. It really took over and made me emotional before the game, and to go out there and get a win afterwards was a great time.
Awesome. Well, Destin, obviously you're moving forward, with your, and leaving that college career behind, but certainly some excellent memories to be able to keep with you for years to come. So right now, you're training, you're working towards your pro day. And why don't you go ahead and chat with me about that really quick? Any personal goals or expectations for that pro day?
Definitely. And that's something I thought about earlier when you touched on my athleticism. I think that's something I'm really itching to show on this pro day. I think I'm gonna have a very exciting day. I've been excited since I started training to get out there and show off my talents. I think I'm gonna show numbers that people aren't really expected to see from our program, from me individually. And yeah, I just can't wait to get out there to jump, run, bench. I feel excited for all of it.
Nice. So, which one of those, I guess, events are you most excited about or most confident in for everybody? You ain't got to give me a number. I'm just trying to give people like a teaser.
I think I would say I'm most excited about that vertical jump. I think that's something I'm gonna test out of the water on.
That's awesome. Well, hopefully we'll see that at your pro day. When is your pro day, by the way?
March 29th. So it's a Wednesday, March 29th. We'll be in there in the morning. Yeah, that's when we're going.
Nice. So, are you training at that facility right now? Are you home, or where are you at right now?
I'm still up here in Fargo. I'm still right here by North Dakota State. I've been training at Sanford Power. So Mr. Randy and Brett over there have been getting me right and ready for that March 29th date.
Awesome. Well, let's take a moment. I want to meet this guy outside of football a little bit. So, why don't you share something about yourself that maybe not everybody knows, whether that be hobbies, personal interests, or anything that you got going on in your life right now. So, go ahead and share something that you feel might interest some people.
My interest in people, well, they're all the basics. I definitely do play a lot of video games. I do have class still. Like I said, I'm still in the master's program, so that takes up a lot of time. Something that maybe isn't very common, especially within my age group, I would say is my love for the game of Jeopardy. I love showing off my trivia intellect. I'll call my mom, or when she's up here for games, that's the first thing we do. I have Jeopardy. We go on, immediately go on my TV, start playing Jeopardy. Definite bragging rights for the rest of the night. And for the past 2 years, she's bought me a Jeopardy calendar. So every day I wake up, answer my question, give myself a check. Yeah, that's something that I feel is bragging. And I know a lot of people like Family Feud, which is cool and fun, but I just love the thrill. It's kind of like I just said about playing football. You get that thrill of making a big play. To me, getting a Jeopardy question right is just so much more thrilling than just guessing like, oh, some regular question like, what do people do every day? I like the big trivias.
So when you're doing trivia games, other than obviously like the game of football, what's that one subject that whenever you get to it that you feel confident in? I mean, is it movie trivia? Is it like science? Like what area are you really the most confident in?
So generally, if it's music around our time, like within a 40-year span of now, then I feel pretty good. And besides that, I like kind of like word topics such as like Latin based words that you have to guess. Because I am bilingual, so I know Spanish. And so when it has a Latin base, I know that I'm going to get this topic right and my mom's going to get it wrong. I feel good about those.
Interesting. Didn't know that you spoke Spanish. So that's kind of good. So you said that you're a big music guy, so I'm going to throw this question your way. So let's just say, for the sake of argument, that it is karaoke night and it's Destin's turn to get up there on the mic and sing. What is the one song you're going to get up there and be the most confident in delivering, to everybody? So give me something.
My mind's trending toward Drake right now. And I'm thinking, oh, maybe No Friends in the Industry by Drake. Maybe that would be the one for me. I feel like I would get 100% on that one.
Okay, well, cool. I mean, you know how sometimes it's like knowing all the lyrics. It's like first I got to know all the lyrics,
Yeah.
and then I got to be able to deliver it properly. Because, dude, sometimes those people like they talk so fast. I mean, you can't even understand what the hell they're saying.
Yeah.
So certainly, a Drake song I feel is, the temperament there is mellow enough that you could stick with it and really deliver it well. So
definitely, I feel like it's not too bad. I thought about picking a JID song, one of my other favorite rappers, who's also named Destin. A JID song called Dance Now, which I also used on my highlight video this year. But that's something similar. Like, there's not gonna be too many pockets where I can be sure I know the lyrics. Like, he's going pretty fast the whole time, so I chose a similar one.
Yeah, some of them people, man, I just can't do it. So it's all good. Well, hey, obviously, man, you had an excellent career, doing a lot of great things right now, and certainly the expectation is to hopefully get your opportunity in the pros here soon. So, really hope that all goes well for you, and just kind of wishing you best of luck here on out. All right.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Sure. So before we do that, dude, one last time, tell everybody why you're one of the biggest sleepers in this draft, and talk to all them scouts out there that are sleeping on you. So go ahead and close us with that.
right. Well, here I am. Like you said, a big sleeper. And I think that people just really need to put the lens on my career. I mean, within these past 2 years in particular, with the role that I've taken over, I think I've done nothing but accept that opportunity, make plays, make interceptions, force fumbles. I'm not afraid to make any hits. I know I'm not 6'3". I know I'm not 6'2", but I definitely get in there. I make plays. I cover people well, more than well. And I think that definitely this pro day is something that people should have their eye on for me. I mean, really to show my athleticism. That it's not just a decent athlete. It's not just a smart guy who had these Ivy League offers and that is bilingual and loves trivia. I'm smart with football and I'm a real athlete. And I think that my pro day is really going to showcase that. And I'm excited to hopefully get to showcase that at the next level as well.
Awesome. Well, thanks a lot for this interview, Destin, and best of luck moving forward. Okay.
Thank you again.
Sure. Destin Talbert, he's a corner out of North Dakota State. Definitely check him out.